The questions today, the earliest memory you can think of that you had or you have of Africa.
My babysitter, she was African, and she was from Sierra Leone.
Probably Malcolm X. Like Malcolm X picture in my house. And then I was like, what is that? And then my pops is from the Virgin Islands, and he was probably like, probably like an African pendant on his thing, and probably went into the whole spiel about Malcolm.
I don't think I just woke up one day and just knew I just knew my father as my father. I never knew that, oh, he's an African man. He just was my father, always. It never was like he had an accent. It was just, he's my father. Maybe this leopard print, like it's like a skin leopard fur that he kept on the carpet, or sometimes he'd hang it up on the wall, depending on what house he moved into. And then I just would ask him, where's it from? He said Africa. He didn't say which country, he just said Africa. So, there we go.
When I was younger, I learned about like a lot of African stuff. I knew a bunch of Swahili words. Yeah. I kind of had that forced on me when I was a child.
Who taught you?
My aunt, she was very much into knowing your culture and your history. You really have to be, you're pretty much familiar with like Sankofa, the whole idea of you gotta go back to your past, bring back to your future. You have to know that to understand it.
And it's gonna be crazy, but roots, like I remember, just seeing African people over there, and in the movie, of course, and it was, I had another whole perception, and then all the African movies, like Lion King. Yeah, I mean, it was a big part, like as far as like growing up.
But no, that's a genuine answer, because like American schools don't teach us about Africa. Like, they're serious. There was a couple Africans coming up with me. There's one chick, she was Ethiopian. That's the only one that I knew was different than me. There was a Ghanaian dude. I thought he was Nigerian up till I was about maybe middle school, high school, because no one like explains there's a difference. They just say, oh, these are all the Africans, and this everybody else. So I didn't grow up knowing the distinction until like I got older and got more educated and inclined. But they don't teach us that stuff. We don't know.
We know about all the negative
stuff.
Yeah,
we know about the flies on the eye.
Yeah. I like her. What I can really remember of her is she always. I thought her accent was funny when I was younger, and I felt like she was. Now that I know African culture better, she wasn't yelling, but I always felt like she was always yelling at us. It's just that Africans speak with a lot of emotion, and so I'm like, why is she always yelling? Why is she always yelling? But she never was. She was a very sweet lady, and yeah, I love African culture now. I definitely am African at heart.
How did you come to